Hello, welcome in everybody. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Thank you so very much for coming and being here. Alright, so as we wait for Miss Yachty to finish up, make sure that, hey there, Miss Yachty, hello, hello. So we're just gonna get ourselves where we need to be. Thank you for the sprinkles, my friend. I appreciate it. Your project was absolutely gorgeous. As always, you are so talented. And I am in the Double Trouble group today. So please make sure that you are following this group. It is a free group. And Miss Yvonne from the Crafting Gammy with Yvonne, she hosts these events, and you can see all of the events and replays under the Double Trouble group. And today we are celebrating Earth Day, so we are trying to recycle, repurpose, reuse, you know, all the things. All the things to try to save our Earth. Alright, so I'm going to put my phone over here. Thank you, thank you. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and get you guys turned down so that y'all can see what I have today. And this is going to be, you know, kind of like a starter part. But I want you guys to like see what I'm going to be working on, and hopefully you guys will like it. Okay, so right now all you see is brown. A lot of brown bags. So I have been collecting the brown grocery bags and have a pretty decent little pile. So what I do want to do is I do want to try to iron them out just a little bit to get some of the crease out if possible, just so it'll make it easier for when we're working, okay? So just to help out. You need ideas with bags? Well, this is jumbo size, okay? I've done this before, but with like the lunch bags. And now I'm going to use the big brown grocery bags. And we're going to be turning this into a journal. So like I said, I do want to get, this one's pretty flat, so that one really doesn't need to be ironed. I mean, as you can see, they're just like all sizes from different places. Whatever you can do. Thank you, Miss Grace. I appreciate it. I have to go back and watch some replays. I spent 2 hours at the vet today. It's never taken me that long at the vet, which was crazy. And then come home, and my daughter was like, can we go look for dresses? Because she has graduation pictures tomorrow, and she wanted to wear a dress, which, if you guys know my daughter, she does not wear dresses. She is baggy jeans, thankfully, because it used to be only sweats. Baggy jeans, baggy sweats, t-shirts, that's it. So when she said she wanted to go and get a dress, well, I definitely jumped all over it because, yes, I wanted her to be in a dress. Yep, all these, this one's from Wingstop, Kroger's. They're from all over the place. So from wherever I could get the big bags. And like I said, I have done this before with the other ones. Now, let me see if we can maybe come up just a little bit so y'all can see better. Okay. So, the biggest thing is they do go through phases. Tell me that. Because my daughter was like, I want color. And she's like, I never thought I would say that. And I'm like, really? Because I remember when you would wear the pink tutus and the unicorn things and the this and the that. Like, mommy remembers that. She's like, yeah, but that was when I was really little. So these ones are a little bit shorter and I like that. So I'm actually going to try to like layer them in between. So that we can have differences. So I'm very grateful for that. Alright, now let's try to get these folded to the halfway point. And I'm just going to give myself a little bit of extra help here with the iron. Mainly because it's so big. Okay. If it wasn't so big, we wouldn't have this issue. Because the little lunch bags are easy. You can just do those with your bone folder and that's about it. So. But yeah, I was super happy that she wanted to have a dress. And then not only did she want dress, she wanted shoes, so we had to go shoe shopping. And they didn't have what she wanted at one store, so we had to go to another store. And they didn't, oh my gosh, y'all. I forgot. I forgot. But you know what? I'm grateful because, you know, graduation only happens once. You only graduate from high school once. So I am grateful. And she is the last one. They never went through the baggy coat stage. But now your oldest wears the sweats. Yeah. See, I don't, like, I always wanted to do the jeans. Okay? Not so much baggy or anything. I got to a point in my adolescence where jeans, t-shirts, you know, all different types of tops were fine. But I wore platform shoes and, you know, the cute tight tops or things of that nature. So for me it was really odd that she just was like not into certain things, especially being a young girl. But I know they all go through stages and they all go through things, and you know, it is what it is. So and then, you know, she, like most of us, is very conscious of her body, and so the dress might look pretty, but it didn't look pretty on her. I told her that's normal, that happens. There's times I grab something and think it's gonna look cute and it doesn't. So I am putting now that I have them all ironed and folded, I am going to put this bag, I'm gonna do them in alternate them, okay? So now I have this on this side, and then I have on the other side, okay? Hello there, Miss Kimberly, how are you? And so now, right, I have the open part, so that means that I need to have another closed part, okay? We have a closed part, we're going to put an open part. Now this is just me. If you want to put them all on one side, you can. This helps to balance out the thickness. If not, you'll end up with a very thick side on one side. But if you want to do it that way, totally, I mean, you can. And the last one we'll do this way. Okay, so in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm using 5. In total, I am using 5 of these big bags, okay? I have more, but I think that right here, this is already gonna be pretty big. And then by the time we start filling it up, it's just gonna get chunkier, right? So, we're gonna leave it at the 5. You could do more, you could do less, okay? So I am using my bags not only as my cover, but also as my pages, okay? And what I'm hoping is that this, because this is heavy, now what did I do with my awl? There's my awl. That because this is heavy paper, it's going to be able to take a lot more than usual. So what I'm going to do a lot of more art journaling on this than just junk journaling. And by that I mean, you know, put things like paint on here and stuff like that. You love huge and bulky. And I'm thinking, no, yeah, it does look better this way. I know, I like the alligator mouths. I really do. Okay, so I am just going to go ahead, and there's my middle approximately. It's not perfect, but we're going to go ahead and go through our bags. You know, yeah, we all really do enjoy when they are nice and big and have lots of oomph to them. Because that means you got to add lots of goodies and you got to play a lot with your journal and all the things. Okay, so I have one at the top, one at the bottom. And this one, I am literally measuring just by eye, pretty much. These are not a perfect measurement, and that is fine, because nothing has to be perfect. Okay, it's gonna be an art journal, so it's all about, you know, us using what we have, and in this case we are repurposing these that would have probably ended up in the trash or whatever, and I saved them from the trash. Now this is a bit of a thicker, oh crap. Please tell me that's the needle. Yes, that's the needle. Oh, thank God. So this is a thicker twine that is already waxed. It is used for leather binding. And it'll be perfect for this because it is heavier than just regular paper. It does take a little bit of coercing to get into my needle though. And it's mostly because of all of the wax that there's on here. Okay. So just like normal, we're going to give it 3 lengths measurement just to make sure that we have enough. And I did get this thicker yarn or thread from Hobby Lobby in the leathering section, which is also where you can get the thin one that's waxed, or you can also find sometimes the waxing wheel if you don't find it in the sewing section. Alright, so we are going to do like we normally do. We're going to try to come through all of our layers if they're still about the same spot. Just make sure you're getting through all the bags. You definitely don't want to miss a bag, okay? And like I said, this is going to turn into a fun, thick journal for us to play with. So you can play with your mica sprays, you can play with your paints, watercolors, anything of that nature, because it will have the resistance, because this is going to be a lot thicker paper than what we normally would have. Okay? Alright, so I'm just going to go page by page, adding them in, because it seems to be the easiest way for me to make sure that I get them all tied, because they're being a little difficult. These bags today are being a little bit difficult. So you can use obviously just one of these as a cover, but you can definitely use several of like the lunch bags in the same format as this. Now that paper, for whatever reason, is not as sturdy. The lunch bags, the brown paper bags, are not as sturdy, I feel, as these are to take on things like paint and such. So might want to think on, okay, where'd I lose the needle? There. That's where I lost you. Okay. And same thing, we're going to have to come investigate that we have all of. So luckily, even though it took me 2 hours at the vet today, while our kitty cat still has it all stuck in her upper respiratory, nothing's in her lungs. So that is a good thing, because that is what we are constantly monitoring her for, is to make sure that these issues with all of her stuffy nose and sneezing and everything, that it doesn't end up in her lungs. And sadly, we don't know if she had something before we got her, or what it is exactly that happened, but the vet says that, as you know, as long as she is happy and doesn't end up in her lungs, that, you know, just give her another round of antibiotics. So that's what we're doing. So we're just going in, out, and making sure that we have a good and secure journal, nice and tight, making sure that everything is nice and tight. And then we're going to bring it up. This will be our last stitch, and then we can actually tie this. If I can get everything to go through all of them. Yay! Then we will be fine. Okay. Alright, so make sure that everything is nice and tight. And as long as everything is nice and tight, then we can go ahead and tie. I do like to double knot, just because I like to make sure that nothing's going to come loose. Alright, and then obviously we get rid of the extra that we didn't use. That's the only thing that tends to irk me, is the amount that I end up having extra. I don't know about anybody else, but it's like, why does there always end up being so much extra? As far as I mean, I'd rather have extra than not enough. Okay, so all right, now what are we gonna do on the inside? So there's several things we can do here. Okay, so with these flaps here, there's a few things we could do. We can and we're gonna do a few different things with them. So where's my why are you not staying? Let's see if this is gonna, that one may not work. So let me grab my new one. Oh, wonderful, I have to cut it. Yay. Okay, well, there we go. Alright, so for this one, I'm only going to glue the top and the bottom so that this acts like a little hiding spot, okay? So that's what we're going to do first with the first one. Okay, so there is a lot of preparation that we have to do to our bag, per se. And like I said, you can do this in a smaller format as well. Okay. So obviously here, this is already a pocket. We'll come back to it. Okay. And this one over here, all right, we can, let's see. Grab a pair of wavy scissors just so that it looks different. Maybe not the best of choices, but we will make it work. Because now we are committed. These scissors. Okay. Alright. So pocket here. Okay. Things that we're going to have to glue down. And we just want to okay. Now, we can glue all of this down. We can glue all of this down, and that way it's only open here. Or we can do like we did before and just glue the top and the bottom, so there'll be a tuck. That should be all glued, and if you need to reinforce it, you can always come in and just add a little bit more just to make sure that everything is actually glued. I love making journals out of boxes and bags and just everything we can find, because I mean it's junk journaling. We are using things that would normally be considered junk and turning them into not junk, right? Alright, so because of the anatomy of the bag, okay, we do have this flap, okay, here. So we do need to glue all of this together. So first thing, because we cut it, this kind of came apart, so we do have to glue that down. And we gotta do the same for the bottom as well. And then now on the inside, okay, we need to go ahead and make this all one. And I'm not giving this stuff enough time to dry and adhere and all of that stuff, which is not good because it's not sticking. Okay, so let's move on. This is obviously already done. We're going to talk about these ones in a second, because these ones are the same thing. We're going to have to glue all of that together so that the only thing is it's a one piece. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to come over here. Okay. So with this one, I'm going to change the anatomy of the bag. Alright, and I'm going to flip this over so that I have a blank canvas here. To help me, again, I'm going to bring my little iron to help me convince this paper bag that this is how it needs to be now. Not the way it used to be. So between the iron and the glue, we're just convincing our bag to act in a new way. Okay, so now over here, alright, same thing, you can just glue, and that way you have a little tuck spot right there. So let's go ahead and do that as well. Yeah, you know, I was tempted to actually grab the pasta box that we used for dinner, because that would be totally giving it a repurpose and making a journal cover, but this will be fine. Alright, now this is gonna have this open spot here, right? This is deep enough that if you wanted to, this could be another, you know, like spot for you to tuck things in. So I am just going to glue this and this part and leave me with this section here as a spot for me to tuck things in. So that's one of the really cool things with paper bags, is that you can end up with a whole bunch of pockets and tuck spots and all those kinds of things. So now I will need to do this probably in another page, so we'll get to that. Alright, over here, this is the one that has all of the opening. So we need to close this. So we're going to glue that. Okay. So we're just going to glue this. And glue it all together. Okay, that's that one. So remember, this is the one that we cut open, right? And we did end up closing it up. This is the next one that is also open, so we need to close the top. Unless, again, you want to leave a spot for you to put something in, but not with these ones. No, I don't. So I'm just going to come in and put my glue. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want it to make sure that it closes. You can come in and cover all of this with, you know, pretty papers, printables, anything of that nature. Alright, and then this was our front cover that we only did here, and we have the tuck, you know, so then we still have this part here that we can come and put stuff in if we wanted to, but because it's my cover, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I do want to have the strength and integrity, so I am going to glue all of this side down. Okay, and while we're at it, we'll go ahead and get the flap too. And just make sure all of this is glued down. And we repeat the process for the bottom half, okay? So I'll do that later, which, you know, come here and glue this together. You gotta glue here. You know, this one we've already done. This one we need to glue over here because we already did this side. On these ones, you also need to glue your flap either to the front or to the back, whichever way you want to do it, but you've got to glue this down. So I'll have to do that as well. And then this is the one that we actually made the opening here, right? And so I do have an opening, and I need to make sure that I put all glue in here as well. Okay, the next half. So here I had a bit of a mishap. That is easily fixed with paper, but we do want to get these parts glued down. So same like we've done before, we're going to make sure that we're going to come in and glue the flap nice and shut. Again, unless you want to leave this to be a unless you want to have like a tuck. Yes, of course, go walk the baby. Okay, so now that I have this top part glued, you know, I need to glue the bottom end. I'll do that one later, okay? Alright, here, right, since this one is one of the smaller ones, I want to fold this one to make it one of those tucks like we did with the other side. Okay, so we're going to convince our paper bag again that this is how we want it. And again, I'm going to bring my handy dandy little iron to help me convince my paper bag of how I want it to work now. And like I said, once you start adding paper and stuff, it'll definitely help. But for now, this is going to be the easiest way. Hello there, Miss Elizabeth. Welcome in, friend. So again, because I want this to be a tuck, I am going to glue the top and the bottom of this bag. Thank you for the sprinkles. I appreciate it very, very much. And I'm going to put it over on this side as well. We'll bring it down. Give it a little hold in place. And so these, because we're telling the bag to be in a different position, it will take it a little bit longer to convince it. And then we need to decide if we are going to completely close this or leave it open for there to be a pocket up top. And I think I'm going to leave this one open, but obviously I will need to close the bottom. Okay. If you wanted to, you could cut this slit open. See, that's not staying together. Where are you? It's wanting to be difficult, so we're just going to give it a little extra helping hand. So again, if you wanted to cut this open and make it a big pocket, totally can do that, okay? You can totally do that. This part again is open like this. I'm not trying to build an accordion. If I wanted to build an accordion, I'd be putting this together completely different. But because I want it for another purpose, I am going to glue down this section. Did you get like dried on me or something already? And there we go. Alright, so again, just letting this, because this is going to be a pocket, again, you know, we need to make sure that we glue that additional flap also, but we'll come back to that. Here's another one of those ones, and again, I do want to redirect it. And with that, we're going to get our little iron to help us convince the paper bag of its new position until we start working in it. We're just telling it that this is how you're gonna be. I know you may not like it. Oh, and this one actually has a bit of a crease right here. Which is making for a bit of an odd little thing right there, but oh well. Okay, so once again, we're going to glue top and bottom. Hey there, sweet Carla. Hello, hello. And we're going to glue it down. I do post what I will be doing. I just need like an amazing admin or moderator to help me like make a full-fledged schedule and post it weekly, and because Lord, I can barely keep up with myself. Okay, so we have this nice big pocket here. Okay, and then again, I mean, you can cut this open and make that a full pocket if you wanted to. We are going to come in here and we're going to glue this part together. Just to close it up. And then I gotta do the same to the bottom part as well, okay? Now for this last one, because this is the back side of my journal, okay? I really don't want the pocket, okay? I really do need this to be sturdy or steady or whatever you want to, however you want to say that, okay? If I have something, let me see if I have a piece of cardboard of some kind. It might be big enough to put in there. So, like, I could take this leftover packaging and I can cut it down and slide it in so that way it has some stability. If you have a cereal box, you could put a piece of that in there as well, to help give it some sturdiness so it's not so floppy. But I don't mind it, but I do not want it to be a pocket, so I am going to completely close it off. I'm going to glue the top. I'm going to completely glue this top here, the bottom, and the inside. Okay, and now we're going to glue the insides as well. And I mean, it doesn't have to be much, it's just mainly getting it closed. Okay, so it's not like I'm trying to go all the way inside of it, like deep down. No, it's fine. I just need to at least make sure that a good bit of it is gonna be sealed off. Oh, my pleasure, my friend. Thank you so very much. So, paper bags. Alright, well, in this case, they were grocery bags. Lots of glue. Pull that tacky glue out. You know, you can get the one from the Dollar Tree. I was using my Turbo just because since we are live, I wanted it to dry a little bit faster for y'all to see. But regular one works great, okay? And you know, you can turn those grocery bags, and I know that in a lot of states now it has to be like this or it has to be the reusable ones, so we can definitely get a hold of these. And you can make your own, okay, jumbo art journal, because that's what this is going to be. Now, to cover the front, you can use whatever you want. You can use paper, you can use fabric, you can use wrapping paper, you can use craft paper, you could paint it, anything you want. I am going to use some wallpaper that I have because it's tacky and sticky. Where I found it or who I bought it off of, I'm not sure. Okay, so I am going to cut this And then I'm going to be using this piece of old wallpaper. Like I said, if you have wrapping paper, you're back. So yeah, so if you have wrapping paper, wallpaper, I mean anything that you choose, can be, you know, your cover, okay? No, that does not look right, so we'll have to go this way with it. Alright, now the thing with wallpaper, it is sticky, which is a nice thing about wallpaper, right? Hola Rosa, bendiciones. So I'm going to try my very best to get it as aligned as possible. But again, it's an art journal. It doesn't have to be like, you know, perfectly perfect. Because I'm going to be doing experiments with, you know, paints and things on here. Okay. So tip when you're putting on something that's adhesive is to have something flat. And I've noticed that usually a ruler serves me quite well. Okay. I know the Dollar Tree does the adhesive wallpaper as well, and this is normally, when I'm applying it, this is normally what I'm doing, because this will help me to make sure that I get it, you know, hopefully as flat as possible. If there's like a little something come and kind of, you know, soften it up. Okay, so again, we're just gonna y'all. Oh, Miss Carla, I was saying you missed it. I was saying at the beginning that Caroline decided she wanted to go dress shopping today after I spent 2 hours at the vet's office for, well, their routine checkups now with Mama, for her upper respiratory issue. It's mainly we have to go in every so often to make sure that it, you know, it hasn't gotten into her lungs and whatever. Caroline wanted to go shopping because tomorrow she's having her graduation pictures taken. And she picked out 2 really cute dresses. One for tomorrow for the pictures, and one for the actual graduation ceremony. And then she wanted to go look for shoes. And then we went to the 2 different places, and they didn't have the ones she wanted. She still found some other shoes, but she didn't find the one she wanted for her outfit. So have to go get her. Well, probably have to order the shoes she wants for her graduation. So we shall see. Yeah, I'm glad that she decided to wear a dress and not, well, and not stick to her. I mean, she's gotten actually a lot better. At least she's not in her baggy sweater and sweats or nurse pants, and at least now she wears these really cute flared jeans, and She'll wear tops without sweaters now. She doesn't hide her face anymore under the hoodie, so that's a good thing. She has come a long way. I'm very grateful. May 30th is her graduation. May 30th. Yep. Yeah, hubby has already requested that week off because we know it's going to be crazy. Plus the 31st is our anniversary too, so. But yeah. She is growing up. Cooperate, and I can fold it upward just so that it looks neater. And again, this is an older wallpaper, so I don't know how well the adhesive is going to be. But I am planning on putting the iron on, so maybe that'll help. So yeah, so once we get the pictures back from tomorrow, then I can send the invitation out, even though I know that, you know, I know you just want it so you can put it on your fridge just like her grandparents, because it's not like they can come. But yes, those will go out in the mail. I don't know, I'll make up something cute on Canva. Cute little graduation invitation, or go to Walgreens. I think you had mentioned Walgreens. I'm the youngest. Yes, cards in. I'm the youngest. Yes, cards in the mail. For sure. She got all excited when she had a letter with her name on it. Because now, you know, she's starting to get stuff with her name, but of course it's all like, you know, the what was it, like, I think it was so yeah, so see, so now we have a cover, and this, it's hard, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's kind of textured, so I do want to try and play this. I do want to try to color that in and everything else. Yes, of course. You know that girl loves you. She's actually, she was asking me, she keeps asking me of who's coming, so she's all excited because I've told her that Miss Carla's coming. She knows that Miss Yachty is coming, and she knows you guys because, like, when I'm cooking dinner and I'm watching lives, you guys will be on there, and so she'll walk in, and now she recognizes y'all, so she'll come in and be like, that Miss Yachty? Yes, that's Miss Yachty. Or yes, that's Miss Carla. So she recognizes y'all. Thank you. Like I said, I have no clue where I ended up getting this from, so I could not even tell you. But it is, you know, you can grab, you'll probably need 2 pieces of the Dollar Tree wallpaper if you're using the big grocery bags. Okay, so I am the last presenter for this evening, so I want to thank Miss Yvonne for having me and for hosting this event, for celebrating Earth Day. We do need to remember, you know, let's try to take as much of the trash and turn it into something beautiful that can be used and not end up in our landfills, right? Repurposing, reusing is an amazing thing. She just wants your gumbo, you funny. No, She loves food. She's like her mama. So, you know, that's how you get to her heart. Feed her. Feed her and spoil her. She's yeah. So, but thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. I have already gone over my time, but have a wonderful night, my friends. I love you guys, and like I said, you know, take those paper bags and we can totally make something with them. And if you want it smaller, because look at how big this is. If you do want it to make a smaller version, you can do it with like the lunch sacks as well. So again, thank you for being here. I really love you guys so much, and I will see you again Friday. Friday I'm in an event. Saturday and I'll be in an event. So I love you guys.